Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, we've been through this before.
Yes.
You don't get to wear a Nerd Fusion shirt
I'm sorry.
unless Hillary wins the election.
Right.
We've been through this before.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we've been through this on stream before, so you guys bore witness to this. We wear Nerd Fusion shirts if Hillary wins, and they wear Linus Tech Tips shirts. See, I am in the uniform. You see how my shirt matches this lower third, matches this mug?
Wait, what?
Apparently we have mugs now.
Oh, yeah.
That's why that's
Which
sitting
I'm totally going to drink from.
Which I definitely always enjoy a hot beverage on the WAN Show. I don't only drink ice water.
We should just, now that they know that, randomly throughout the show, we have to just be like, yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, you know, I
really need coffee to nail this point home.
don't even take a break to swallow, just like, so I think.
When that Norway newspaper put that thing in their paper and then challenged Zuckerberg, it was really a pretty intense.
Yeah, it was really a shouting match that I would have loved to participate in.
Drink coffee too?
Yeah, drink coffee too.
Yeah.
Calmly.
Yes.
In a sedate manner.
Interesting.
What were we talking about?
I literally don't. Wait, these shirts.
Oh right, there was the bet with Sevedis. So
Yeah.
there's a bet with Matt Sevedis Zagorski on who wins the election. I said Trump was going to win.
Well, it's
he
more
said
of a,
not Trump was going to win. They should have to wear our shirts for way long. I actually don't remember the exact terms.
I don't know.
I might have not gone 1-to-1 odds. Actually, I think I might have demanded like better Vegas odds on it than than just 1 month to 1 month.
And like it is in reality, it's not just a Linus versus Sevedis bet.
No.
They made it a Linus Media Group versus Nerd Fusion
Yep.
bet as a whole. So the entire companies have to wear each other's shirts depending on who wins.
And we have to pay for the other company to have enough shirts to wear, which is like actually not insignificant given they have like 8 people.
So we would have to buy all of our shirts for them?
Yeah.
Oh, wrecked.
Yeah, we're not gonna.
You sort of want to win and also don't.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I don't want to win at all. But that's a whole other conversation.
Do either of you want to win?
So
that's a whole tertiary conversation.
All right, so we've got a lot of great topics for you guys today.
Like Norway and Facebook clashing over news censorship.
They are going head to head. There's a new Mario game for iOS.
Yeah.
Sony launched their AMD Polaris-powered PlayStation 4 Pro, and VR adoption among Steam users has crashed to a halt.
Yep.
To a halt.
Not surprised.
A halt.
Not surprised.
A halt.
Not surprised.
A halt.
Not surprised.
Should be fine, except that I tore down the streaming machine today, sort of a little bit.
Why?
Well, I needed to. Okay. So I actually have what I think is a really cool new segment, and I know you guys are going to give me a bunch of crap about new segments all the time.
I like this a lot.
But I have a new segment that we're calling.
This is possibly my favorite segment that you've ever started.
Really?
This is what I am personally most interested in.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why I was like, I really want you to do this.
Okay, so the new segment is called Haunted Hardware. And basically, I'm always telling stories, especially on WAN Show. I'm always telling you guys stories about like just bizarro land stuff that I have witnessed. Like, it's hard to do this. It's like it's hard to come up with something on the spot.
It is.
Okay. Perfect example that isn't the one that I use in the video as an example is I had a machine once that would not install an operating system. It would crash on the loading bar for Windows XP while it was like unpacking files or whatever every single time, consistently, 100% of the time. I swapped the power supply, installed Windows just fine. I went, okay, bad power supply. But I don't have a lot of money. I'm a student. I'm going to put that other power supply back in and just kind of see if it was a system runs perfectly. absolutely perfectly. Stress test all day, no problems whatsoever. I could do anything with it. In fact, I left the power supply in there. It ran for years after that. Years, okay? But I wasn't done yet, okay? So I was so curious. I was like, okay, I'm going to burn another half an hour to an hour of my time because I want to know if this is reproducible. So I put it back in, and I tried to install Windows again. Same exact hardware. Crashed. And I'm sitting here going, how can you have a system that is 100% stable other than that you cannot install Windows on it?
That's so random.
But the problem...
I would have really enjoyed if you tried a different OS.
You know what? I wasn't even aware of other OSs at this time.
Okay,
this is when I was first getting into computers.
Sure, yeah.
So anyway, but the point of that is that story is just a story. And you guys could not believe me, or you could believe me, or you could say, gee, I wish you had tried another thing.
Well, see, but no, that's why I'm excited for the series. Because now I'm interested and I'm engaged. I love that kind of stuff.
So now, I'm going to capture the whole thing on video. So
Are you going to tell them what it is?
No, I'm not going to tell them what it is.
I was like, that's a big... All right.
Oh, I'm not going to tell them what it is. No, absolutely not. But stay tuned for haunted hardware.
It's very topical.
Because it's like super topical, very current events related.
Yeah.
And I document the whole thing. I reproduce it. I demonstrate. Like, there's a point where I go from scratch with the camera rolling the entire time.
Nice.
And what I'm thinking is we will upload that video in its entirety.
Yeah.
Unlisted separately. We'll link it in the description.
Perfect.
If you don't believe me, here's the proof.
There you go.
So
awesome.
it should be pretty excited. I'm pretty stoked on that.
Topical, not tropical.
They are very different. I mean, I was reading an article about how we've eliminated 1/10 of the wilderness in the world in the last 2 decades, about equivalent to half of the land area of Australia.
Whoa.
Yeah, in the last 20 years. So mostly in the Central Africa and in the tropics. So that would be a tropical topic. Or a topical tropic.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
But they are not the same thing.
That caulking gun thing just looks like a really crappy chalk outline of a gun. No one's going to know what I'm talking about.
It does kind of. It's in the workshop. I don't know where the caulking gun is. Oh, I know what they're using it for.
Also, I look partially angelic. Look at my hair.
If you ask your mom, you look fully angelic.
Aw, thanks, Mom.
Yeah, you know she would say it.
Probably.
Yep. Can't say I always agree. You know, sometimes he gets kind of naughty.
Wow.
Okay, so moving on to our first topic of the day. Big topic. Facebook backs down. They back down, y'all, on censoring the Napalm Girl photo. After public outcry, Facebook plans to restore the image and review its processes. So if you weren't following this along, Norway's largest newspaper published a front-page open letter to Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg. It's the body snatcher replacement for Mark Zuckerberg. So they're lambasting the company's decision to censor an historic photo. It's ahistoric or anhistoric photograph of the Vietnam War, calling Zuckerberg to recognize and live up to his role as the world's most powerful editor.
Which is an interesting way of stating that, and kind of true.
And it is kind of true. I mean, if something doesn't exist on Facebook, for a lot of people I know, it basically does not exist.
At the same time, you could argue that Google is even more powerful that way.
I don't know. You know, I haven't looked at it recently.
It would be interesting to weigh them.
Yeah, because Facebook and Google are both always publishing statistics of like how many people log in and look at their Facebook feed like once per day. And I think Facebook's numbers are actually scarier.
Really?
Because with Google, they don't have quite as many services that you just, like if you go to the google.com homepage, they don't have suggested news stories there somehow. Still, after all these years. So
right, but like every time you type something into the search bar, that's a search.
That's true. But all you have to do is go to facebook.com and your feed, which is,
there's
curated,
filtered news in there,
curated
yeah.
by people you
Yeah.
know, so you inherently trust it more, is also full of advertisements
Yeah.
and is full
Yeah.
of promoted stories and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
that's a good point.
So I would make the argument that for the passive user, not the active user, because I personally look at Google a lot more than I look at Facebook. Google and Google services a lot more than Facebook ones. But for the passive user who's just like vegging, like sitting at their computer, kind of browsing something, probably Facebook is more relative and is more relevant. And if Facebook decides something doesn't exist, I think for a lot of people, they just basically would never see it. Where are they going to see it?
My Facebook is open a lot because I use it for, like, I have this group where, like, some friends from high school and I just all share music. So I, like, play music through there almost constantly. But I don't, like, go through my feed. But I think you're probably right. A huge portion of people would spend more overall time there.
So anyway, I could elaborate on the story, but I realized I never posted on Facebook since we're talking about this.
Snap.
Tune into the WAN show. Yeah, I can't have it waterfall anymore from Twitter to Facebook because it just completely buries everything we post that way.
I hate that.
Which is pretty annoying because basically all they're doing is wasting my time. They're making me copy paste things.
I kind of want to, like, create our own little bot that will just, like...
It's probably against terms of service.
Yeah. God damn it. It, like, probably definitely is. But that would be so nice, because if you created your own bot, it wouldn't know, because it wouldn't be it wouldn't be going through the API services. You could just have it literally, like, copy and paste it in, which would make it like a normal paste.
All right, so going back into what happened, the writer of the story was suspended from posting on Facebook for 24 hours. He posted a historic Vietnam War image of a naked girl fleeing from her napalm-bombed village. They then published a story discussing and criticizing the deletion of the image, and that post was also removed, well, for containing the same image.
Okay.
The notice from Facebook explains that any images with nudity in them will be removed. So Espen Hansen, editor-in-chief and CEO of Aftenposten, I probably butchered that, but I'm sorry, accused Zuckerberg of abusing his power. And then after that, the Prime Minister of Norway decided to speak out about the situation. She did this on Facebook, but several of her posts on the topic were also deleted, which is getting pretty ridiculous at that point.
To be fair, this is probably just a bot going crazy. I seriously doubt this is someone, like, manually intervention, be like, no, screw you, Norway. Like, I don't know.
It's also a matter of, and so there is an anonymous Facebook spokesperson who responded saying, while we recognize that the photo is iconic, it's difficult to create a distinction between allowing a photograph of a nude child in one instance
Just gonna say.
and not others.
Above it said girl.
Yes.
And if this was an underage girl.
Yes, it is. So we try to find the right balance between enabling people to express themselves while maintaining a safe and respectful experience for our global community. Our solutions won't always be perfect, but we'll continue to try to improve our policy. And they have since backed down and allowed the posting of this particular image.
Which is interesting.
Which is interesting, but I also completely get where they're coming from.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's what I'm saying.
We discussed this on WAN Show last week without you, but YouTube, Google.
Rude.
Well, you weren't there.
You did anything without me?
Yes. I did something without you. I will make it up to you tonight. So, so basically, Google has cracked down on not the posting of. So this was why I publicly and strongly disagreed with some YouTuber statements that this is censorship, which it is not. If you can say whatever you want, that is not censorship. When someone refuses to pay you for saying whatever you want, that's not censorship. That's a completely different thing. And
yeah, because they're not taking people's videos down.
No.
Or closing people's channels. That's something I was getting really annoyed because there's so many videos that are like, my channel is being closed. I'm like, no, it's not. You would be closing your channel.
Yes.
They're just taking the
because you're not
monetization
making
off.
money anymore.
Anyways, this isn't a current
Which
topic.
is a whole other issue, and it's just a cold hard reality for if you're taking money from sponsors that you're going to have to behave in a way that sponsors approve of, and it was going to happen eventually. But it's
I do want to chime in one quick second on that. Someone posted a thing.
Oh, well, we can move to this after. I was just going to kind of close this.
Yep, sure.
But basically, what I didn't agree with was the way Google's doing it, where they take this heavy-handed, ban everything approach, and then probably what they will do is they will chip away it's kind of like they take like a big brick of marble and they just kind of go shoo. Okay, so we're just like everything's covered, and then they're just going to slowly chip away at the stuff that it turns out is actually okay until they end up with a statue of the devil stuff that no sponsor wants wants their advertisements anywhere near. And Facebook is doing it in much the same way. But the reality of it is do they really have a choice? Can Facebook manually go through and decide on every picture of a naked kid that's okay when they first implement a policy? And so I actually, I kind of agree with everything that happened here except Facebook removing the posts complaining about the removal. Unless they also contain the picture,
That's what
which one
I'm saying.
of them did.
I'm wondering
ahead.
about the what was it Prime Minister? I don't want to get the position wrong.
Yeah, so it was Erna Solberg,
Prime Minister of Norway.
Yep.
I'm wondering what the details of those posts. If it's just text complaining about the removal, that's crazy that was removed.
Yep.
But if it was like, I can't believe this was removed, this is fine, then I would be like, okay, I understand that. Anyways, what I was going to say was someone was talking about how maybe a good solution for the monetization dropping that's going on YouTube would be different pools. So Google could have like advertisers that allow their ads to go on more like crazy videos or like traditionally not advertiser friendly videos, and like companies that want to have their ads on these crazy videos can get cheaper ad buys, and maybe you get put in a lower monetization group which is only open to those things. Did you said that? Okay. All right. I didn't watch the show. I don't know. It makes sense.
Yeah. It does make sense. Everyone's like, let him keep going.
No.
Don't tell him. Don't tell him.
No. You started smiling weird, and I was like, I don't know what's happening.
And Linus never talks to Twitch chat.
That's why. So I didn't know if you were trying to write to me or not, because you don't normally type to Twitch chat. I don't know.
No, I agree. I agree
Whoops.
completely. I think that's how they should do it, and I think that's how they will do it. If anyone from Google watches the WAN Show, which I'm not convinced that they do, but hey, if it managed to make it off WAN Show and back to you, because I'm pretty sure you didn't watch the WAN Show, or you'd have known that I was the one who said that.
Yeah.
I mean, someone else has probably come up with the idea independently as well. I'm sure it's already the plan. It's just a matter of it being difficult and complicated. And they would have to, I mean, this is something a lot of people don't know. A typical sponsor, if you're lucky, is negotiating their ad buys on a quarterly basis. Some of them will do it on like a yearly basis. Like we'll talk to a sponsor in like June and we'll be like, hey, so we'd love to work together. We've got this cool idea for Q4. They'll be like, yep, all of our ad buys are pre-allocated at the beginning of the year. And I'm kind of sitting here going, and I hope none of our sponsors are watching this, because especially those ones, but what do you even do all day? Like seriously. Like, what is your actual job if at one point at the beginning of the year, you basically take all of the brain power out of deciding how to spend the advertising dollars that you have for the year?
They probably manage those contracts to be...
Understand, though, too, that a lot of the time, bigger brands, they subcontract this through agencies, right?
Well, as far as I've been able to tell, because I talked to someone about this, I'm not going to say names or anything, because I've asked people, like, why the hell do you actually do this? Because I hate dealing with, sorry to any middlemen, I hate dealing with the middlemen because you always end up just having pass-through conversations.
Yep.
And they're like, okay, we're confused because they told us one thing and now there's stuff going on. And then like everyone has to kind of figure it out, and you're just adding more steps to the process.
We had a deal fall through recently where we got on a call with the agency and the brand, and it turned out that so there were actually 4 layers here. So there was us, our MCN, there was the brand agency, and there was the brand. 4 layers. So our MCN did a great job. The brand had a clear idea of what they wanted, and honestly, those things were pretty well aligned. The agency basically passed along no information. The call was a complete cluster hump, and we found out shortly after the call, it's like the guys last week there anyway. So the deal completely fell through. So carry on. But
so
yes, it
like
happens.
this stuff is frustrating and I don't want to deal with it anyway. So I asked someone who was at one of the companies, not one of the PR companies, but one of the like companies that would hire the PR companies, who was a PR person.
We call them the brand, right?
The brand,
so
there we go.
Brand versus like agency.
There
or
we go.
PR
Okay, so I talked to a PR person from the brand and asked them why they don't do it. And it's a shield.
Yeah.
If their PR effort fails,
yes,
they can just be like, their fault.
Meat shield.
Not brand's fault.
Yep.
Bye-bye.
And, again, this is going back to my personal theories, it is a personal shield as well.
What do you mean?
Like, if I worked at IBM, let's say
Oh no,
some
definitely.
massive,
That's
yes.
what for everyone at the brand throughout
Yes.
the whole chain, the brand itself and the people working at the
Yes.
brand, it's all a shield.
It's a meat shield.
Yeah.
So all they have to say is, okay, well, next year we will reallocate that entire chunk somewhere else. That's we're going to reallocate it into social. So basically, someone gets paid an actual salary for an actual entire year to make a decision at the beginning of the year at one point in time to go, okay, we are going to allocate, we are going to listen to some proposals, and we are going to allocate budget here, 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 and here. And then if it works, then I will be submitting a great report about how well it worked. And if it doesn't work, I'm going to submit a report about how I fired those people. Oh, man. Corporations, man.
Become a PR person.
Yeah, but you got to work your way up the food chain first.
You got to get to the brand.
Yeah, so first you'll be like the
You got
meat
to
shield.
deal with you
Yeah.
got to deal with being a meat
You
shield.
have to survive as a meat shield first.
Yeah.
It's basically like warfare.
But with words.
Yes. So in much the same way, you can either survive as a meat shield and get promoted, or you can just be born into it because like nepotism or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. You have to defend against the internet's flamethrowers of compassion.
All right. So moving on to our next topic. Oh yes, Sony launches an AMD Polaris powered PlayStation 4 Pro. So our original article here is from WCCF Tech. It's probably fine because this is like, there's actually like a press release. Here are some specs. Like, it's not speculation. Speculation? Wow, I can't believe I've never made that joke before.
Oh, wow, yeah.
So basically, there's a single chip custom processor featuring 8 Jaguar cores, though we do know that they are clocked higher. So they're faster Jaguar cores, but okay. We have a 1.84 teraflop AMD Radeon-based graphics engine, so we know that this is not quite double the theoretical performance of what was already in the PlayStation 4. It's available with a 500 gig or a 1 terabyte drive. It's got 8 gigs of GDDR5 memory. It has a Blu-ray drive, an Ethernet port, 10 gig LAN. No, I'm just kidding, just gigabit. It's approximately 2.1 kilograms.
Starts at $400 US.
Starts at $400 US. Wait
When
a
is this
second.
wait, so
Hold
they're
on.
out
This
now?
is the new slim standard model. Gosh darn it. This is the
It's still 8 gigs of GDDR5 because that much is in the notes.
dang it. Where is the Pro one? AnonTech had a good article on it. I was looking at that. Okay, so the Pro one, higher clock speeds. It is still 8 gigs of RAM that is said to run at higher clocks too, and is bolstered by new lossless memory compression technology from AMD. The GPU component features over double the shading power of the PlayStation 4 and is based on the Polaris. Okay, so basically I got everything right. The Pro starts at $399. Okay, we got everything right, even though we were looking at an article that I don't actually think was about it. So, go Linus and Luke. So, okay,
Yay.
in a nutshell, what Sony is trying to do is they are trying to make their console all about 4K. And they're still approaching it from sort of a lackluster sort of...
Angle.
Yeah, it's not grammatically correct, but let's go with it. Lackluster angle. So they're still approaching it in a way that is quite frankly just not going to work because, as the college educated among you may know, 4K is 4 times the pixel count of 1080p. So right off the hop, if we're running games at anything less than 60 FPS, native 1080p on the PlayStation 4, which we most assuredly are, we will need 4 times the theoretical performance. It doesn't quite work like that, but we will need more than 2 times the theoretical performance of the original PlayStation 4 in order to game at 4K smoothly at the same frame rates.
Yeah, because there's like a lot of other variables. But
There's a lot more to it than
Yeah.
that. Shaders are not the same as, like, you know, your overall pixel fill rate is not
Yeah.
the same as how your memory bandwidth affects all of that. Like,
Yeah.
you could double the functional units in the GPU, but if you didn't increase the memory bandwidth at all, then you wouldn't get doubling. And theoretical doubling does not equal practical real-world doubling. So there's a lot of things
unless you have
going on
memory
here.
bandwidth that was already capable of the doubling.
Even if you fully like doubled without making any kind of architectural change, I don't know that you would get double the performance. We could test it though.
That could be
Like
interesting.
we could go find a GPU that has exactly half of the CUDA cores of the higher end one. and see how it works out. We
With
might have to
no other changes,
overclock
though?
we might have to overclock and underclock.
But there'd probably be like memory bandwidth changes and stuff.
Yeah. I don't know if it would be possible. Well, let me tell you what. We'll call up NVIDIA or AMD. We'll be like, hey, can you send us a custom GPU? Can you like seal off half of the... Are you there still? Hello? Anyway.
So it's going to be the war again. Last time there was a PlayStation and Xbox launch, and there will be a PlayStation and Xbox launch. There was all the image comparisons. Every single tech YouTuber, including us, and probably this will happen again, is going to create computers that are like the same price or cheaper and better or the same performance. And then everyone's going to be like, but as computer parts keep coming out and these consoles are going to stay here for a little while, in the future we'll have even better ones. And then with the next GPU launch, there will be even more videos of people going like, oh man, look, you can even make faster computers for the same price as the consoles, but then the consoles are going to go down in price, and the whole war is going to come.
Do you want to redo 792p versus 6-year-old graphics card?
I can.
That'd be pretty funny.
Yeah.
That one's got almost 1 million views. 926,000.
I kind of enjoyed that video. It's, there's, again, like I just said for your like doubling thing, there's some problems with it, but it was a fun video. That's true. So I don't know.
Sometimes
I'm kind of excited for the war again, just because I like what it brings in terms of like people actually building low-cost computers.
Yeah, and I get a kick out of how much more and more PC-like the consoles continue to become.
Yes.
It's like now all of a sudden you can get PlayStations with different specs. Yes, my friends, PlayStation 4s with different core specs. And when you run games in your better PlayStation 4 versus your peasant PlayStation 4, we're gonna have like a whole new level. There's gonna be like the PCMR guys are gonna be like, there's like console peasants and then there's like console like vassals or something. There's going to be like rankings, and it's all going to be dramatic, and it's going to be all over the YouTube comments, and I'm going to sit back and I'm going to laugh.
Yes.
But in a nutshell, okay, Sony needed to do this for a couple of reasons. Number one is it's all about 4K. Even Sony, it's like, the TV division's kind of sitting there going, like, how are you guys not helping us out here? Okay? We're trying to sell some 4K TVs here, all right? So they had to have 4K support, whether it's for Blu-ray or whether it is for gaming. 4K support had to come, so they had to do something more powerful because the original PlayStation 4 was going to run games at like 12 frames per second, twice as cinematic as 24 frames per second. Also, PlayStation VR. There was speculation that Sony was going to use some rendering tricks, some frame interpolation tricks. They were going to figure out how to get PSVR running on the original PlayStation 4 and have it be a good experience. We were skeptical. Looks like they didn't. PlayStation 4 Pro, or is that what they're calling it? PlayStation 4 Pro? Yeah, PS4 Pro is going to be the way to experience PSVR if you care at all about a good experience.
How does it make you professional?
If you were a pro gamer, you probably wouldn't game on a peasant Station 4.
Yeah, if you're a pro gamer,
I bet they're going to call it Peasant Station 4. Someone will call it Peasant Station 4. A PlayStation 4 Pro owner is going to start that.
You might have just started that yourself.
I'm not sure.
Yeah. People are going to start having pictures of the original PlayStation 4 or Peasant Station 4 and have like fake dirt on it.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Just be like, it's the Peasant Station 4. Oh, my. This is going to be confusing. Actually, one of the really good things about consoles for a long time was the easy gifting idea.
Plug and play.
The mom could just go to the store and be like, my son wants the Xbox. And then,
or the PlayStation.
Yeah.
They'd be like, here's the newest one.
Yeah.
Here is one game. The only game that matters right now.
Yep.
Your son or daughter will have to wait 2 years.
For more interesting
games.
Yeah, and it was fine. And now it's going to be
good. And we liked it that way.
Do you want the 500 gig model? Do you want the 1 terabyte model? Do you want the Pro model?
Do you want the non-Pro model? Is your son not a professional? Is your
daughter
gonna grow up to pump gas all her life? I mean, that's okay, but you're not going to want the professional. You're going to want this one.
And part of the problem is that this might actually introduce like competitive advantages.
Pleb Station 4 is another name for that.
Okay, yeah, that'll probably be used.
Okay.
You should maybe straw poll a few names that you see in there and see who.
Poop Station.
Okay.
Poop Station sounds like a different thing.
It does. It just literally sounds like a toilet.
Yeah.
Apparently
it does not support 4K Blu-ray. I did not know that. I'd imagine that'll come with a firmware update. There's no way that it doesn't support 4K Blu-ray at some point.
That's ridiculous. Anyways, what I was going to say was it might actually introduce a competitive advantage, because if you're getting significantly more frame rate, like maybe in older games that aren't meant to run or aren't designed to run at higher resolution, they might run faster.
I was wrong. I did not follow the PlayStation 4 Pro news because I don't care. But no, the absence of a 4K Blu-ray player is due to a lack of consumer demand, according to PlayStation boss Andrew House. Support cannot be patched in via firmware update at a later date either, he confirmed.
Okay. Oh yeah, lack of consumer demand. The very first question on Amazon.com, when you scroll down on the pre-order page, with over 2 times the, we can switch to my screen if you'd like, with over 2 times the upvotes of any other question, only at 42, but this is the, it's covered up by the, I'll scroll, it's okay, I got it. No.
You might want to give it the old...
Fancy. We're gonna do this. It's only 42 votes, as you can see there, but it's still up there. And this is the pre-order page on Amazon way before you can buy it, so I'm not suspecting that much. And there's 206 answers, which is insane compared to like the 1 or 6 or 0 answers on the other questions.
I like the top answer. In one of the most mind-boggling decisions in console history, no.
It cannot play Ultra HD Blu-rays. So, yeah, lack of consumer demand may be an inaccurate statement.
I mean,
what I'm gonna say.
It may not also be completely, like, okay. I personally own a movie watching setup that has a 65-inch TV literally a meter from my face. Okay? I am about as target a market as 4K Blu-ray could possibly have. I could not possibly care less.
Really?
I do, like, honestly, I'll tell you, I have bought DVDs, like, even recently, like, before I got that set up, and now I'm really disappointed I own DVDs, but streaming 4K does not look better than 1080p Blu-ray, and 1080p Blu-ray looks great. Even at that distance.
4K Blu-ray?
I
Because
have
streaming
not.
4K is not the same.
Oh, no, it's not.
It's not the same on like a few levels.
Which is a whole other way to attack Sony's argument for why it doesn't
go
support
pretty
that.
blunt here and say that I don't think you can comment if you haven't seen it.
Okay, fine. So I'll tell you what, I will obtain a 4K Blu-ray at some point, and we will revisit this conversation.
That could be a cool video.
Is 4K Blu-ray worth it? Actually, that's probably a pretty good video. I should probably do that.
You should probably.
And I'll be like, for you, no.
When
But
it's a
for
meter
me,
from your face, hell yeah. Okay, but like, shit, what was I gonna say? I think that consumer demand would be more existent if this thing did support it.
Yeah.
Because I don't think that many people are going to want to go buy a player for 4K Blu-ray. But if their PlayStation already supported it,
Maybe
and they go
they
to the
would
store,
buy a couple discs.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Especially if they were cheap. Like, especially by the time, and maybe that's part of the problem. Maybe they don't feel like supporting it because they're not going to get $29.99 for a Blu-ray disc anymore. So that maybe the royalties just aren't even, like, I don't know what the rationale internally at Sony is exactly, but basically they've decided it's not worth it.
Yeah.
But like personally, especially for like $5, like in the $7 bin, maybe not tomorrow because 4K Blu-ray is going to be expensive for a bit. But in the $7 bin in a few years, I would rather own it than stream it in a lot of cases.
Yep, me too.
I don't buy everything. A lot of stuff I stream. Certain content though, especially like I'm buying House of Cards, even though I have a 4K Netflix subscription.
Hackers, Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, Secret Life of Walter Mitty, The Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus. These are all things that I'd like to have on a physical media that I own.
Yep. I mean, I don't keep them on physical media because I made that video.
Yeah.
Because it's stupid.
I agree with that. But the idea is that you have it because Netflix is really volatile.
Without web compression, I have it forever.
Yep.
Because I paid for it.
And these streaming services are volatile. I don't think Netflix is going to go away. That's not what I mean by volatile.
No.
But the content that's on there can change.
Yep.
And does
Revolving
change.
door.
Yeah.
And it's designed that way. Like, it's supposed
Totally.
to be like that. They're
And
not going to license everything because that costs money.
And I love it, and it's fine.
And people who watch Netflix are going to, like, watch Netflix regularly. They want to be refreshing it, so that's fine.
Yeah.
It also creates that urgency, like when you see something. Like, it's very smart, actually. What was I talking? Oh, right. I was going to add this to the, so is 4K Blu-ray worth it? No, but I like it. So there, that's already the whole video. All 6,782 of you can save yourselves the effort. But for everyone else, hopefully that'll be a good video. And
I still kind of want it, like, it's totally not worth it, and it goes completely against the algorithm stuff that YouTube is trying to use right now.
Yeah.
But I would still love to make that channel that we talked about back at the old office.
Was it?
I don't know if you remember this,
no.
but I talked about it with a OnePlus review. I think it was the OnePlus One that I was talking about it for, where I would be like, it's just like super short tech reviews.
So like 30-second review?
So, yeah, like terrible company, good phone, problems with software stuff. Look it up on the forums.
But it's cheap.
But it's cheap. See you next time. And like, you could review graphics cards like that, because you could just take a price performance graph and be like, it slots here. See you next time.
I hate you.
But seriously though, so many things could be done that way.
Everyone's suggesting we do Tech Quickie reviews.
Tech Quickie reviews.
Tech Quickie could start doing product reviews. We even have a place to put it, potentially.
It's so short though. It's shorter
Yeah.
than Tech Quickies. Because
I mean-
Tech Quickies aren't really like the fastest possible
Well, they
segment.
used to be fast as possible. Now they're like as much history and context as possible.
Yeah. Yeah, they're not that short.
No,
Yeah.
I don't know. Twitch chat's freaking out. They want it on Tech Quickie.
It's so short because these would
They're
be
like
like
patent it.
30-second. These would be like 30-second videos.
Yeah, I don't know.
We need to trademark the name React.
React. Oh Lord.
Maybe we could trademark the name 30-second videos. And then if anyone makes a video that's 30 seconds long, we can just crush them.
But bow.
Yeah. Turbo Tech. That's not a bad name
Yeah,
for
Turbo Tech. Whoa, slow down there, Turbo.
it. I don't know.
Twitch chat's like flipping out. They
It's
love this.
going way too long.
I'm just soaking in the Twitch chat experience right now.
But yeah, do you remember that conversation? We talked about it with the OnePlus.
I actually do vaguely remember it, but I had completely forgotten.
I had like a script for the OnePlus One done at that point in time. I don't remember where it ended up going, but it was like you can do it for so many things. Oh man, any modern motherboard.
Here's all the ports it has. Enjoy.
Yeah.
By the way, if you want to put your old CPU on it, get crapped on.
Yeah. CPUs.
More cores. They're slightly faster. It consumes less power. Enjoy.
You could just, and then like you could just copy paste videos. So like don't say the product name in the video, and then if like if the content of the review would be the same, you just put a different title on it and re-upload it. So like every CPU cooler that comes out could have this.
Heat pipes, check. Aluminum fins, check. Flat bottom surface, check. Comes with a fan, check. Performance, pretty good.
And then, okay, that could be the difference for every video. There would just be performance pretty good, and there's a graph while you say performance pretty good, and it just slots it wherever it goes, which is going to be like exactly where the ones in the same form factor go, and then you're done.
Not the worst idea I've ever heard. I mean, okay, we're
It's
gonna get
so far away from like advertiser friendly, and it's completely the opposite of what YouTube wants.
yeah, we're gonna get killed on watch time.
Oh, destroyed.
I think we're gonna get killed on like comments because like
Probably.
we're gonna have to like that's the thing is we're gonna have to get down and dirty with like fanboy arguments.
Yeah.
Like if we're gonna try and summarize an AMD or an NVIDIA graphics card, we're gonna have to be like, runs hot, is loud, worst drivers.
I love that you didn't say what brand there.
No, that's because it switches generation
It does.
by generation.
It does. But no, but okay, the reason why I said that is because the copy paste video thing that I was talking about, Because you could just use that for like a bunch of different cards. I like it way too much.
Oh, man.
It does have it has a lot of problems. And the thing is, people don't even want that. People want words.
Yep.
Even if they're pretty close to unnecessary, they want words.
And sometimes the words are about pacing and they're about absorbing what you're looking at.
And adding impact to a certain part of the video or like specifically what you're saying or whatever else.
Like I have intentionally over the years on Linus Tech Tips and on Tech Quickie increased the length of the videos to add more depth and more analysis and more
we used to do
history.
I had a benchmark for text length for videos before.
Yep.
And I think I got it from you. And it was a page and a half, including your intro and all the extra stuff that's on our script templates. And now that's way too short.
Yep.
It has to be 2 pages, if not more.
And the audience expects. They expect like a 7 to 8 minute video, and they expect us to say something meaningful in that time. So maybe this would just be a way to let off steam.
Yeah.
Just be like, this thing sucks. It costs too much. Don't buy it.
That would be awesome. This can transition us into our next topic.
Yeah, what's our next topic? Oh, let's do our ad spots.
Oh, perfect.
Dollar Shave Club! Let's see if I can hold this note until I bring up my talking points.
It doesn't cost too much. It's pretty awesome. You don't have to go to the store. They're delivered to your house.
The quality of the product is good. They have more than just razors. And if you sign up now, you will get the Executive Blade on promo for a bit until maybe the promo is gone. Crap.
You can get it in the US, Australia,
you'll
and
get
Canada.
a free month of the Executive Razor. US, Australia, you just said that. But I have to say Canada because it's like the most important one. So we can't say the other ones twice and not Canada.
Okay.
And dollarshaveclub.com/Linus. Now, I think we actually do guarantee our sponsors a certain amount of airtime, and I'm pretty sure that wasn't it.
Butt wipes for men.
But we usually go over it. So, like, does it work that way?
Oh.
Can you
average?
Yeah, can you bank it? Like, could we just do from now on? Because we usually do like double or triple because we just go off on these tangents during our sponsor reads.
Like this one?
Exactly like this one. Okay, so maybe this will be the last one, the last tangential sponsor read. So could we just kind of go, okay, Dollar Shave, you guys are going to pay us the same rate that you've always paid us, but from now on, we're just going to like flash it up there for a second. We're going to be like, Dollar Shave Club. You guys know the drill. Boom. Back to the show. Would they just stop writing checks?
Probably.
Is that how that would work?
I think so.
Yeah, I think so too. All right. Speaking of not writing checks to Linus Tech Tips anymore, Squarespace still writes checks. So they've got 24/7 support via live chat and email. It's only $8 a month, and you get a free domain if you buy it for a year. All their templates feature responsive design, meaning they look great on any device. They come with commerce. They come with a bunch of other cool tools, including their logo designer, as well as the build a one-page website because you want to be that guy. I don't approve of those websites, but with Squarespace, you can build them, and you can build them
beautiful.
Yes, you can.
See, that's still loud because we didn't say it as a slogan.
Yeah, we said build them beautiful.
Yeah.
Your websites.
Yep.
Not Squarespace.
Yep. We did it.
Your
as a
websites
sentence.
with Squarespace.
You could
But
build them
they will be beautiful. And you could have so many websites because each of them only costs $8 a month.
You should have so many websites.
You should have so many websites that
because holding domains and using the domains can be beneficial.
I mean,
to
it's
you.
a simple, powerful, beautiful concept, really.
Yeah. I love this. This is making me happy.
Let's go.
I was so crushed when they said we shouldn't do their slogans anymore.
Yeah, but we just don't care. I mean,
And then their new slogan is set your website apart.
that's not bad.
No.
That's pretty good.
No, but we're not supposed to say it.
We're not supposed to say it?
I thought we're not supposed to say any slogans anymore.
I don't know. I hate Nick.
I don't hate Nick.
Well, I hate him telling me that I can't do my sponsor reads the way I want to do them.
Okay, well that's...
Actually, I don't hate him. It's more amusing than anything else, because I'm just going to ignore him anyway.
Oh.
There's really nothing to hate about it, other than, like, just
But then didn't he, you told
thinking
me he
it's
came
funny.
on the show and then just screwed around during the sponsor spots
He
anyways.
did. So
Yeah.
he's a hypocrite.
Yeah.
That's right. He's a
Yeah.
hypocrite. I think I heard the door open up there, and he was going to come down and yell at us. But he heard us talking about, he knows we're onto him. He knows we know he's a hypocrite. And that, oh, I didn't go back to my Squarespace lower third. Yeah, this is technically still the Squarespace sponsor spot. So, Squarespace.
Squarespace.
Build your website, make it look awesome, use Squarespace, and use offer code WAN to save 10% so you don't pay more than you have to.
You know, if we got the right sponsors on that channel, it could be great. Because if they were sponsors based on like saving time, like honestly,
FreshBooks could work.
If FreshBooks,
Dollar Shave could work.
Because if the sponsor spot for Squarespace,
I think Squarespace would be on.
Yeah,
Squarespace is all about don't dick around like, doing all of this crap manually.
Make it look good.
Here it is. Here's a template. Slap some pictures in. Put in your text. It looks great.
Yeah.
Get about the rest of your day.
You could go like, this air cooler is just the same as all other air coolers in its form factor. It looks like this. It costs this much. It fits here on a performance graph, which is exactly where you expected it to go.
You can buy it at Amazon.
You can buy it at Amazon. And, by the way, if you hate wasting time, which is why you watch these videos, check out Dollar Shave Club. They deliver shavers to your door. Goodbye. Cooler review, right there. Full video.
Full video. Okay, there is some...
Editing time, 10 minutes.
There is some work that has to go into the video, though.
Yeah, because
we have to actually benchmark it.
You need performance graphs.
Yes, we need to validate that if we're going to say it doesn't matter, we have to actually make sure it doesn't matter.
Definitely, and you could put the performance graphs there.
Someone could make a magic heatsink. Although, if Noctua is to be believed, it's much more difficult than you would think.
Yeah.
Did you ever watch my video from the Noctua booth?
I did, actually.
Oh, okay. Well, for those of you who didn't, so I'm not going to talk to you anymore.
And I talked to them.
Right. Okay, so my video from the Noctua booth was really cool because basically it was an explanation for why Noctua appears to have been completely sitting on their ass for the last 3 years. They haven't released a successor to the NHD-15, which took forever after the NHD-14 and was just bigger anyway. They haven't released a successor to it in years. And the answer is that they were like, well, we tried all these things and
they showed
don't
a lot
work.
of stuff. They tried a lot of things.
And they tried a lot of stuff that other companies have released products claiming that it's like way better, but actually when you actually put it on a CPU, it doesn't make a difference. And it's like, oh, I can't figure out why you're not seeing a difference. In our lab, we see a difference. Oh, don't come into our lab. Noctua's just like, yeah, we tried all that crap. It doesn't work. Sorry.
Or they'd be like, yeah,
like
it cost an astronomical amount more money to make and made like 0.2 of a difference.
Yeah, they made an all copper one, for example. They're like, yeah, copper is more conductive. That's cool.
Yeah. That was really interesting, actually.
It's like super balls heavy and super duper balls expensive. It's like, why don't we just make them out of silver at that point? I mean, do you want a $900 heatsink?
Gold.
Because we could make it for you.
Actually,
Mind you,
gold
if it was,
would probably be terrible. It would droop.
Oh yeah, the gold would be awful, and it's not as conductive as silver anyway.
Yeah, I've heard about that.
Yep. Okay. All right, let's stop beating around the bush. Apple's iPhone 7.
Or wait. I got it. Hold up. iPhone 7, really expensive. No headphone jack. You can use an adapter. It's $40 and really big. Thanks for watching. This video was sponsored by Dollar Shave Club. If you hate wasting time, check out their razors. They ship directly to your door.
Also, Squarespace lets you build a website that's beautiful in like a very short period of time.
For only $8
Crap, I'm bad at this. I am just inherently a verbose person. I think that's why I needed a podcast that was like an hour long.
I can headliner the shit out of this channel, man.
All right, so let's screen share with me The Verge's article, The 11 Most Important Thing from Apple's iPhone 7 event. You didn't even get all 11 of them. You suck.
What? All of it.
Mind you, I think they have the Apple Watch 2 as one of the most important things.
Oh,
so
God.
I really don't think that I'm going to agree with. No. Sorry, Verge. We're done. We're done here.
Nice.
Although, what I don't know yet, I can't believe they showed off a Pokemon Go app for the Apple Watch. That took up like a significant amount of time in the keynote. What I don't know about the Apple Watch is whether the screen is always on. I haven't actually seen that in anyone's summary, and I haven't finished watching the event yet. I haven't watched that part. So maybe Twitch chat can let me know. Supposedly it is twice as bright, which is wonderful, but I never asked for that. What I asked for was to be able to tell the freaking time.
Was the brightness a problem at all?
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
The problem was that it isn't on. And a lot of people have criticized me over this. They've been like, Linus, you don't get it. My Apple Watch lasts all day. I'm like, good for you.
Not the point.
Not the point. I want to be able to tell what time it is when I'm sitting having an awkward conversation and I'm trying to figure out when I need to dismiss myself from this so that I can be somewhere on time. And that doesn't work when I have to go like this. I mean, that should be like a dance. Do the watch. Do the watch. Do this specific gesture. If you want to know the time, do the watch. Do the watch.
That's gonna be gift to hell.
Oh, I know, right? There's nothing we can do about that. It's
Okay.
too late. Okay.
What if we do them as supplementary reviews? So for every
Okay,
good video
we'll
that
just
goes
take
online,
this
it's like
conversation offline. Okay, Apple iPhone 7. Same display as the 6S. They say it's 25% brighter. Cool. Same resolution, which I don't personally care about. I'd just as soon save the battery life and have a lower resolution display, as long as I can't tell that it's lower resolution, which quite frankly, I cannot.
Yeah.
The home button now has no physical click. This is a big one for me. This is something that, if the phone didn't have other crippling problems with it, could convince me that an iPhone is a more worthwhile purchase now than it was yesterday.
Just because the physical click is breakable?
Because it's breakable, and because it does break. Because it breaks frequently.
If it didn't really break, then it would be fine. But I've heard so many people that have to replace buttons, including you, right?
Yeah, and there are other issues. Like for a while, Apple wasn't allowing people to retain Touch ID if they replaced the button themselves, which is ridiculous. I think they've addressed that now. But the point is, now it's haptic feedback, so it feels like a click, but it's not. And if it works anywhere near as well as the MacBook 2015, it'll be awesome, and I will love it.
Okay, yeah.
It was really impressive.
Their haptic feedback engine is like very good.
Very good. Okay. It's water resistant. They're calling it out as IP67, and there have been scandals. So the S7 Active, was found with, I think it was 2 samples, the Consumer Reports or something like that. Anyway, it was found to not necessarily be all that water resistant. If Apple's claiming it, what I will say is it's probably pretty darn good. And I talked about this, and this is going to be really embarrassing because I did a review of the Odyssey Sign headphones, a Lightning headphone. And it got bumped because of PAX. So the release to YouTube is a 2-week window instead of a 1-week window. And I speculate about the new iPhone 7, if that's what they're going to call it. And then I speculate that if the objective was to increase water resistance, like if they're going to give me some meaningful benefit out of taking away my headphone jack, then that will probably be it, because I could see Apple. Now they've eliminated the home button, which is very difficult to ingress protect. Yeah. They have eliminated the headphone jack, which is difficult to ingress protect. So if the objective here was not only to, make the phone slightly slimmer, which I don't care about, but if it was to give me a meaningful upgrade in some other way, I would be a lot more receptive to it. And it looks like that is indeed what they did, although that video will still be kind of embarrassing. So Apple's EarPods will now connect through the Lightning connector port. There are no there is no headphone jack on the bottom.
Quick thing on that I want to add about your ingress protection thing.
Yeah.
This phone is, I don't remember what it is.
IP67, if I recall correctly.
67,
okay.
Yep,
Same.
I don't believe that I've taken it out of spec. It has problems.
There you go.
That are very probably because of water.
On the other hand, the Galaxy S7 has been the best performing water-resistant device that I've yet seen, surviving, I think we went 20 feet down.
That's intense.
Before it died, or 20 or 30 feet down in salt water before it managed to die.
So this audio jack
basically
horrible.
Yeah, so basically the point is there's a lot of variability, and if Apple has been quietly working on improving the water resistance of their devices over time, which we know.
Yeah.
And they've basically determined, okay, well, for us to put IP67 on something, we need to eliminate these ports. And they were just kind of waiting for the right moment to do it, because it's not like water-resistant competitors haven't been out for quite a while now. Maybe they kind of went, okay, you have to be, what is it? You have to have the courage to move forward with a thing that no
Something
one
like that.
No one
but
wanted.
okay, my counter argument to that a little bit.
Yep.
I said I was going to devil's advocate you, but not yet. Why not just have 2? Go dually USB Type-Cs.
Yeah, I mean, that's an interesting...
Even have one that, like, this one charges faster, by the way, or something. You can plug it into either, but, like, this one will charge your phone faster.
Apple is... I mean, I think they're philosophically opposed to that. Like, they've never put an extra port on anything if they didn't have to. I mean, they even have a laptop computer that only has 1 port. And a headphone jack, though.
Oh, wrecked. Oh, man.
I mean, are we going to see Apple's laptop... have they been waiting to refresh their laptops so they can put Lightning connectors on them? Like,
interesting.
There's a thought. So, I mean, the summary is, and I actually do a better job of this in my Odyssey Sign review, and I'll talk about it some more when I review the iPhone 7, which I undoubtedly will. But the summary is, it's a mixed bag. You get a little bit of extra space inside the device that you can use for whatever it is that you determine you need to use it for. You lose compatibility with 99.999% of headphones on the planet without a goofy adapter that people will undoubtedly lose. Like, I was actually... so I have another device here in the studio, the Droid Z Force from Lenovo, the Moto Droid Z Force from, Lenovo acquired them. I think they're branding it Lenovo. Anyway, the point is, it only has a USB Type-C connector. It does not have a headphone jack. And I've used the adapter, and cleverly, they include this little rubber thing so that you can stick it to your headphones so it doesn't like come off and get lost. I think people are ultimately going to be salty about it. I'm salty about it.
I would need like 8 of those cables.
I would prefer to just be able to plug in natively. I don't personally find that upgraded amps and DACs make a huge difference for me with the kind of source material that I use, and that if we're all being honest with ourselves, none of you use either. So I never wanted this, but at the end of the day, I think it's this cable.
Did that change your mic? Did you fully unplug it?
Oh, maybe.
It's worth checking.
Oh, for crying out loud. But at the end of the day, people are going to accept it. No, it's still fine. And yeah, I think we're all going to move on. I mean, Apple is pushing their wireless AirPods. Is that what they're calling them?
They look so ridiculous.
Yeah, they have new wireless Beats. The problem for me is that this introduces yet another
thing you have to
freaking
charge?
thing in my life that I have to charge every day.
That's the very first thing I thought of when I saw that. Was like, wow, I don't want to charge my headphones.
Now, Intel showed off a couple of years ago at CES. They showed off a wireless charging bowl. The concept for which is awesome. Okay, that I would be okay with wireless crap if all I had to do at the end of the day.
Go to bed is like shed your watch,
boom,
drop your earphones in, drop your phone in.
I get up in the morning and everything is wirelessly charged. It slow charges so my battery doesn't heat up, and I work like it's awesome and it's amazing. That would be great. And maybe that's the future we're heading towards, and maybe you have to take these steps in order to get enough mass appeal for these wireless devices that you can get the economies of scale that are associated with shrinking the batteries and shrinking the electronics and blah, 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 blah. Maybe we're heading towards that, but it is a very frustrating stepping stone, and I personally would still use my iPhone 6s, although I'm saying this without having used the 7. They say the camera's amazing. I probably will still use my iPhone 6s if I need to use an iOS device. There. That's my 2 cents.
I'm not going to buy a full gamut of new headphone things because I use full headphones and earbuds with my phone. So
okay,
that's not going to happen.
Well, adapters,
but I wanted again, I'm going to need a million of them. And like they're probably not cheap.
I don't remember how much they cost, but I'm sure we'll see cheaper ones after the fact. Someone said $40 in the Twitch chat, but I don't think that's right.
I think $40, wasn't that for the Belkin USB-C to dual USB-C?
That I'm not sure.
Because have you seen that? So Belkin has an adapter already, or not USB-C, derp, Lightning, that just splits it. But it's like on a short little cable, and then it's a huge box, so that you'd be able to plug in a headphone and microphone thing. There you go.
Oh, lordy.
But it also doesn't break to 3.5.
And that's $40.
Yeah.
And that's to address the other issue. I mean, I haven't even talked about that now you can't charge your phone and use headphones at the same time unless you're using wireless headphones.
That's a big problem for me.
Which is a huge problem for any mobile gamer. I mean, Apple's keynote. Blah, blah, blah. We are the biggest mobile gaming platform. Blah, 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 blah. You can only game for a few hours on an iPhone before it runs out of battery. Ha, 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 ha. Good luck listening to your headphones. So you don't have to be that jerk on the bus that's got freaking Clash of Clans. Well, I said freaking, by the way. That sort of slipped out. Kind of funny.
Okay.
I don't swear on this show. Kids at home, don't repeat what you heard here. I mean, Clash of Clans on the bus, making everyone around you mad.
Yeah, that's super ridiculous. And like, obviously you can just mute it or whatever, but that's lame.
Yeah, that's stupid.
It's just
Why would you degrade the experience? No,
whole
a
thing's
new
just
device should never degrade the experience.
What I'm expecting is that I kind of think someone's going to come out with a case that has extra ports built in. I'm not kidding. So you're just going to have to buy a bigger phone, essentially.
Our new device is magical. It's revolutionary. It's 3 times as big with all the stupid adapters that you have bolted onto it.
But like having it slimline in a case, as slim as it can get, and just making your phone taller, essentially, is probably the most elegant solution that they're going to be able to do. So the case will plug into the bottom of your phone.
That's like saying the most elegant way to put a tutu on a hippo. Like,
yeah. There is a most elegant way to put a tutu on a hippo.
There is.
I'm sure there is.
But who cares?
Yeah. But I would be more interested in this, though. I would rather use the phone if it got to a split-out box in an external case thing, and that went into, like, dual USB, or why do I keep saying USB? Dual Lightning and, like, and a 3.5.
It's technically USB, so.
That would be wicked.
All right.
Dual Lightning and a 3.5, I would be very happy.
So there's a new camera, larger aperture, optical image stabilization. The iPhone 7 actually gets an additional telephoto lens on the back that works like a built-in zoom feature. Longer battery life, like apparently very substantially. They haven't specified the capacity yet. I guess we'll just have to wait for the iFixit teardown. I don't know why they're so like tee-hee-hee about all this stuff. We're gonna figure it out eventually anyway. The front-facing camera is now 7 megapixels and includes auto image stabilization, which is not the same as optical image stabilization, so we'll find out exactly what that means. And they have finally done away with the 16 gig capacity, and they have a glossy jet black that will look great in photos and will validate once and for all why Luke and I have to spend so much time being angry at manufacturers for making glossy black things. And it will be because the iPhone 7 will sell better in that color than anything else, because Apple made it more exclusive by making it only available in the higher capacities. So people are going to want to show off that they have a ball-in one. They're going to get a glossy jet black one. And we are going to have to continue to be mad that our wireless routers are glossy black plastic and look stupid after 4 seconds because you had the audacity to plug a cable into them.
Or just let dust sit on them.
That too.
Glossy things just look terrible unless you literally just cleaned it.
So we asked on Twitter if people wanted to suggest what we should talk about on WAN Show about the iPhone 7. I completely forgot to look at this, but I'm pretty sure that we talked about most of them. Yeah.
One of the things that I really don't like about the wireless earpods is that they look like earrings. Have you seen that?
Yeah, I saw them. I think they look ridiculous.
They do.
Yeah.
Like most wireless headphones, they just wrap around.
They're going to turn into a status symbol. They're going to be like the original white earpods. Or no, they weren't called earpods. Whatever, I don't care. White earphones.
I don't know, man.
We'll see.
We will see, but
We'll
I
see.
don't know.
Some celebrity is going to wear them.
Yeah.
Yep.
But then you look at like Bluetooth things.
Yeah.
Those always kind of made you look sort of like a douche.
Yeah, they make you look like a douche.
And
these will make you look like a douche unless you're like cool. And then they will make you look like a douche or whatever.
Oh, man.
Most people really just asked for the headphone jack removal controversy. So,
Yeah. That was fairly obvious.
Robert Preston says, I'm an easy man to make happy. I want a phone that makes calls and doesn't explode. Yep, I like that.
You have to shop fairly carefully these days. Not exploding is an exclusive feature.
All right. So yeah, talk about waterproof. Okay. So our summary notes were fine. Excellent. Good.
I'm happy with the waterproof improvements.
It's expensive, by the way.
I've been a big
You
proponent
don't bing
of that
anything.
For a while. No, it got caught in my nasal because I'm sick right now.
All right. The iWatch 2 is here.
Hooray! You're gonna review it?
I probably will. I'll probably end up just saying I think it's stupid again. Starts at $370 US, has GPS, boasts a brighter display. So basically they addressed everything that I don't care about. It's like more waterproof now. I don't know how many people's Apple Watches are dying in the water.
MSRP for a GTX 1070.
Yeah.
Not that you can
You
buy
could
them
get a
at that
better
price.
video card than you probably have if you didn't buy an Apple Watch.
I have a rant on that coming.
There's a new Mario game for iOS. The original article here is from Kotaku.
Coming on Android later.
Yep. So there you go. Mario is on a phone, which is exciting because if you wanted to play Mario on your phone, then that will excite you. I mean, it'll be nice to have better quality platformers on mobile, so that's cool.
Yep.
It'll offer 3 distinct modes. So there's challenge courses to complete. There's second mode, which is challenging play data of other people's courses, and then you can create your own mushroom kingdom using coins collected by playing the first 2 modes.
One thing that drives me insane about this, where's the actual topic? It'll be free to download with a set purchase price. What? What does that even mean? And that's not like a weird quote that Colton did. That's exactly the quote. In quotations. That's what the guy said. So like, I don't know. Because I read it'll be free to download, but with a set purchase price, and was like, wow, Colton, way to go. Clicked through and was like, oh, actually, yes. Good job, Colton. More literally this time. Like, what does that even mean?
Okay, you claim to see this coming. I did not.
Really?
Hit me. VR adoption among Steam users has crashed to a halt. Original article here is from VentureBeat.
VR is an extremely difficult thing to properly explain the experience and feeling of without having the person actually do it.
Apparently, it means it is not free. You pay. There are no microtransactions. You can download it for free, but you have to pay to unlock it.
That's super dumb.
Yeah. So there you go.
Okay.
Enjoy.
Sure. That's super dumb.
Yeah, it was apparently a bad translation.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Okay. So why?
Yes, it's extremely it's hard to translate because it's an experience.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yes.
it's like telling someone that a roller coaster was cool who's never been on a roller coaster or anything that moves quickly or inflicted G-force on them at all before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you go around the corner and it like pulls your body and stuff, and the person's like, "What?" Like it doesn't translate very well. Every single person I've described VR to, no matter how excited and how intricate I made the description, once they try it, completely different conversations. They're pretty deadpan and like, yeah, sure, whatever, dude. Then they try it, they're like, whoa, I want one. Like every single time.
So here is sort of where I didn't see this coming, because I agree with everything you just said.
Okay.
But what I thought was that people would do that. People would show their friends and they'd be like, whoa, I want one.
Yes.
So what you're saying is that the people who play VR games don't have friends.
Well, there's a combination of things. That's possibly true.
I mean,
to a
I
certain
play
degree.
VR. I don't have friends.
That's possibly true to a certain degree. One thing that I was pushing for quite a while, and you probably know this, is that I wanted Best Buys and stuff. Like brick and mortar stores.
I mean, they
to
are
start
working on
setting
that.
up. Yeah, but not really
Yeah,
yet.
it takes time. Yep.
And it's not
Okay.
really that great yet. And I've heard of a couple small brick and mortar stores having them with the Rift, which is not the experience that I want people trying.
Right.
And the most popular VR experience right now is with the damn Gear VR.
Ooh. The Gear VR is awful.
Exactly. So people are getting this Gear VR for free, throwing it on, and then going, why the heck, censoring myself a little bit there, would I ever spend all that money?
$1,000 for like that but better. Because it isn't that but better. It's not that
They're
at all.
completely different categories of things.
Right.
But they're calling it the same thing, and Samsung is, oh yeah, and their radio advertisements are like, oh yeah, today I was running around with dinosaurs, and then I was like fighting zombies and stuff, and so they try to make it the same amount of exciting, and they describe it in the exact same way that people are describing the high-end headsets. Then people are trying the Gear VRs, and then going, why the hell would I ever buy that nicer one? So people are not exposed to it in a direct, hands-on way.
Right.
People are exposed to shitty versions of it in a direct, hands-on way.
Mm-hmm.
And the community that has them is very small, and then they're really expensive.
Right.
And the well-informed community also knows that these are the first version. There's probably follow-up versions coming relatively quickly that will be consitably better, and that's going to be happening for a while.
Yep. Okay.
So like it's this huge. I totally saw this coming. That's a big reason why I was worried about even making the Rift review so late, because I knew the hype train was already crashing so hard.
All right, so basically the numbers are here. According to a survey of customers that use Steam conducted by Valve, The number of new HTC Vive owners on Steam only grew by 0.3% in July and remained flat in August. Oculus saw similar results of 0.3% in July and 0.1% in August.
Yep.
July and August are important because they are the first months where both HTC and Oculus are shipping orders when they receive them. Wow. That's tough, eh?
Yep.
All right. Let me just see if we've
like,
got anything else that's really interesting here.
I would be interested in seeing some other statistics on that Steam thing, like the percentage of computers that can actually perform properly with those VR headsets. How many of those people are buying headsets?
Right.
Because a huge amount of the Steam hardware survey is like not even necessarily dedicated GPU laptops.
Yep, that's true.
And like your mom's HP that was $300.
Yep.
And stuff like that. So a lot of these things, VR headsets aren't even remotely in the horizon for them, and
Yep.
it doesn't apply. So the percentage sounds lower than it probably should.
So this made me mad, and then I got over it. Google Chrome to disallow backspace as the back button. See, I'm going to press backspace, and it's not going to do anything. Mind you, this is the first page I loaded in this tab, so it probably wouldn't have done anything anyway. But I'll demonstrate again. I am pressing, see? Oh, look at that.
Alt left
Press
arrow?
Alt left arrow to go back. Press Alt left arrow. All right, Chrome. There you go. So the idea is to keep people from losing all their work by accidentally trying to backspace something and then losing a web form, which I personally don't really have a lot of difficulty with.
Apparently this is really old.
And this is old?
Not this VR thing.
Oh,
Chrome.
well, whatever. I know. No, they've been rolling it out slowly.
Oh, okay.
It hit me this week.
Okay.
And I hadn't heard about it, and it made me mad.
You use that?
That's all. I use backspace?
To go, yeah.
Yeah,
I don't.
all the time.
I don't.
Well,
I just do it with my mouse,
whatever.
which will still work.
I do it with both.
Get wrecked.
Sometimes I touch the little back button on the touchscreen. Yeah, that's right.
Whoa.
Yeah,
You're like
I'm like a rebel.
triangle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
No, I can't. I'll sure. All right.
Yeah.
No, I'll do it. I'll bite. I'll bite on this one. Okay, Turing Phone Cadenza will apparently feature dual Snapdragon 830s with a 60 megapixel quad rear camera triplet lens. Why would you have quad rear cameras? So IMAX 6K is the resolution they're calling that. Dual front cameras, 20 megapixels, 12 gigs of RAM, 1 terabyte of storage. Swordfish OS with deep learning AI. What is this? A 5.8-inch 1440 by 2560 display. So Turing Robotics has revealed plans for the future of the Turing phone. Should be a leading-edge program to realize the next generation of mobile devices. 1 gigabit per second, 60 gigahertz WiGig support. I mean, what are they planning? Saying the phone will be released sometime in 2017. Quad nano SIM support. I mean, this basically just sounds like someone going on PC Parts Picker and just like picking all the most expensive stuff that totally won't work together and just putting it in a cart.
Yeah.
Graphene oxide composite bodywork with liquid metal 2.0 structural frame. It's only going to have a 2400 milliamp hour. Oh, 2400 milliamp hour graphene supercapacitor battery. So like basically like instant charging, and a 1600 milliamp hour lithium hydrogen fuel cell. And it's really funny because our next topic is Half-Life 3 confirmed, which is almost like that phone is like Half-Life 3 confirmed. Why is this in here? What is this? We're almost at the Back to the Future date. We're even closer to the Star Wars tipping point. The what? On May 13th, The Phantom Menace will have come out closer to Return of the Jedi than to the present. It's weird how I'm consistently surprised by the passage of time when it's literally the most predictable thing in the universe. You know, a long time ago should have plus 4 more decades added into the re-releases.
What?
Oh, hold on a second. Half-Life Episode 2. It's been that many days. September 10th, 2016. So that's the... Oh, I see.
Okay.
Wow, has it really... Was it... Yeah, it was 10 years. Has it really been 10 years since Half-Life Episode 2? Holy crap, I feel
we're old.
Wow.
Speaking of VR things, because someone lit the fire, Oculus Touch controller price was leaked on MediaMarkt for €200,
Oh, cool.
which is probably going to be $200 US as well, because
Take that, Europeans.
you're not an American, so
Yep.
you get wrecked by pricing, apparently. Sorry. We're not Americans either, so
Yeah.
before anyone forgets that point.
Yeah. We just like talking about Trump because it's funny.
And it really impacts us a lot because we live really close and we're a really small population.
Yeah, I mean, what if he makes us pay for a wall? That is like a really long border.
It is.
All right, so thank you for tuning into the WAN Show. We will see you again next week. Same bat time, same bat channel.
We could employ all the oil riggers that way. Could be good. What if you made the wall out of solar panels and then it became a profit venture? We could export the power to the States.
So you're saying solar freaking walls.
Yeah.
Solar freaking walls.
Solar freaking walls.
You're not allowed on this show. Would the top of the wall be a road? Like, would you travel along the border on the wall road wall? Okay.